Diabetes Awareness Week. It's next week. So tell me what type of message that you want to convey to the community about the diabetes. Are you raising awareness this week?
Yes, so next week.
Next week, yes.
Yes, next week on the 13th, we're going to be at the Gurdwara Temple, Park Avenue. And what we're doing is to, like I said, raise awareness. And I think it's important to know how much diabetes is affecting people's life in healing. Right now, we have 31,000 people diagnosed with diabetes, and we have approximately 5,000 undiagnosed. So when we go to these temples or these events, we're kind of doing screening. And with that, if we pick up somebody that with abnormal sugar levels, we now encourage them to go to their GP to have further investigation as well. On the 15th of June as well, we're going to Manor House, but we're linking in with the Go Southall group. And it's very important to note that we do work with the Southall Alliance team when we're running this event, because it's very valuable to have local people involved in this activity. So we've been doing this for the past 8 to 9 years, and I think it's very popular as well.
So what causes diabetes? So what could be the complications, if you can tell me? If it stays untreated, what happens?
That's a good question. So causes of diabetes, there's numerous. Overweight, obesity is a massive driver for diabetes. Family history. We also have genetics as well. It's quite common in Africans and South Asian community as well. Not being very active, everybody's now sitting around. That could increase the weight as well. Also, we're living longer as well. So remember, the pancreas is an organ, and we're living up to 80, 90 years old. The pancreas will get tired. So sometimes we're picking up diabetes now in our elderly patients. So age, stress, depression, obesity, eating too much carbohydrate or eating the wrong food, and not being active, family history also can contribute to diabetes. Also, damage to the pancreas as well, and some medications as well. If you're on steroids for a long time, that could be a risk factor for type 2 diabetes. And patients with mental health, some of their medication can increase the risk of diabetes as well. When we mean stress, it's not just stress of me walking from Featherstone to this place. This is ongoing stress. So when I see my patients, they say they have tension, ongoing, that could trigger insulin resistance. Because when you're stressed, you produce a hormone that is counteracting with insulin. So that's why it's important to manage your stress as much as you can. I know it's not always easy, but stress is a massive factor.
Does physical fitness decrease the diabetes risk?
Okay. So if diabetes is not well managed, it could lead to eye damage, it could lead to kidney damage, it could lead to poor circulation, which could lead to foot problems. And we know in the UK, the rate of amputation is very high, because when the sugar levels are very high, it obstructs the flow of blood, and people lose their feeling. When you lose your feeling in your feet, you can step on a nail not knowing, and that's how people get ulcers. So that's why we're raising this awareness, and we're doing also foot screening as well to make people aware. Even the type of shoe you're wearing can increase your risk of amputation. So there's so many risks that can come. Heart attack is quite common as well. Why? Because when your cholesterol level is very high, that blocks the artery and the blood is not flowing, and that could lead to stroke and heart disease. So you can see all of this is linked into uncontrolled diabetes. So it's very, very important to manage your diabetes. Prevention is better than cure, and that's why we're doing this screening and raising awareness. There are risk factors. If you're overweight, your GP will encourage you to do exercise, and also very important to watch what you're eating. We do not condemn any food. We look at portion, the quantity you're consuming at a particular time. And you asked the question about exercise. Exercise is very important, because when you're very active, you lose weight. And what kind of weight are we talking about? Remember the organs, the pancreas. When you're overweight, the fat is covering all these organs, and that causes insulin resistance. So when you lose a little bit of weight, it helps the organs to become more active. So exercise is always important. It doesn't matter how many medications we give you, exercise and diet has to be at the forefront.
Could you tell me, are there health professionals going to be there? So what will you be doing there at the event?
Yeah. So on Tuesday, we're going to have diabetes specialist nurses. We're going to have the podiatrists, dietitians, diabetes coaches as well. We have volunteers. And what we're going to be doing is to do some blood glucose testing. We're not diagnosing, we're only screening. We're going to do blood pressure checks as well. We're going to have a food stand to play some games. How much sugar can you count in a particular meal? And any questions on the services that is available in Ealing will be answered as well.
Can you suggest which foods we need to avoid to be safe?
Okay. Like I said before, no food is forbidden. The key message is portion control. And how you prepare the food makes a difference. So avoid a lot of fat in your food, cheese, ghee, reduce the quantity, and carbohydrate. Rather than 3 chapati, you can have 1 chapati and mix it up with vegetable. So more healthy eating, more greens, less carbohydrate. No food is forbidden. It's just how much portion are you having on that plate, how much rice is on that plate. You cannot have rice and have chapati at the same time. That's too much carbohydrate. These are little messages and little changes you can make to make sure the weight is still healthy.
On our special occasions, weddings, birthday parties, etc., with eating extra, so risk of sugar level rising, I need your suggestion.
Okay.
For myself as well. Yeah.
If you don't have diabetes, you can eat, but always be mindful of the portion. If you have diabetes, though, and we want to appreciate there's always wedding in the family, celebrations, we don't want you to be missing out. So we look at portion. If you're having that cake, how much are you going to have? If you have a little, then you're going to dance a lot to burn the calories. So it's about taking it, having it as a treat. Control the sweet. Because I go to South Broadway, we have the jalebi, all these things. It's about controlling how often we're having this. And you can live a healthy, happy life.